Hello, and welcome to another episode of Bat Dan's Thoughts. So, we have the Flash movie coming out soon, a big multiverse superhero movie that I am really excited for. So, to hype this up even further, I thought, hey, let's talk about the other multiverse superhero movie that came out this month. Across the SpiderVerse, a sequel to Into the SpiderVerse. Yes, I decided to tie in my Across the SpiderVerse review into my Flash movie hype series. So this is not going to be a play-by-play. I'm just going to kind of go over what I liked about the movie, certain characters that stood out to me, some stuff that didn't work for me, and major spoilers. So, if you have not seen this movie, unless you just don't care about spoilers, click off now. Otherwise, spoilers in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Miles ends up in an alternate universe, and he's captured by Uncle Aaron, an alternate Uncle Aaron, and an alternate Miles. But we'll get into that later. So basically, this movie, as mentioned earlier, it's a sequel from Into the SpiderVerse. And the overall plot of this movie is that Miles runs into this new villain, Spot, who got into an accident with the collider from the last movie, and now he has holes, he can make holes and go anywhere in the multiverse. And there's this secret spider society, a multiverse of Spider-Men and Spider-Women and other spider people from different universes to help keep the multiverse intact. And right off the bat, I really loved Gwen Stacy's character. I loved her in the last movie and just even more in this movie. One thing it did really well was it really expanded on her story a lot more. I love how the movie starts out with just her, really getting to know her in her universe. You see how the events played out, where she loses her best friend, the Peter Parker of her universe. He turns into the Lizard. Gwen Stacy doesn't know it's Peter. She fights him and accidentally kills him. Though I still argue it's Peter's fault, but anyways. And it's a really heartbreaking story because she's sad that she killed her best friend, and then her father, Captain Stacy, wants to arrest her, Spider-Woman, for killing her daughter, or his daughter, Gwen Stacy's best friend. And it's a really interesting dynamic there, is that Captain Stacy loves his daughter, Gwen Stacy, but hates his daughter, Spider-Woman, but doesn't know it's his daughter yet. And you just really get to see a lot more how Gwen Stacy lives her life, is that you really see how she really is this recluse now. She tries to join a band, and it doesn't work out with her. And then you kind of see that further conflict with her father. She's back home, and her father is talking about capturing Spider-Woman. But you can tell that her dad is doing this for her. And eventually she fights the Vulture and runs into two people from the Spider Society, that pregnant woman, Spider-Woman, and then the leader, Miguel, of the Spider Society. The secret group that's meant to protect the multiverse. And then eventually her father finds out that Gwen Stacy is Spider-Woman and then wants to arrest her. And then having nowhere to go, Gwen Stacy joins the Spider Society. And it's a heartbreaking situation for her, because in that short amount of time, you really feel the chemistry between her and her dad, that father-daughter chemistry, and how heartbreaking it is now that her dad wants to arrest her. And I really did a great job of expanding that story. And then another character who stood out to me was the return of Peter B. Parker, who has now also joined the Spider Society. From the last movie, he didn't want to have kids. That was the big reason him and the MJ of his universe broke up, but at the end, after training Miles, he decides, okay, let's have kids. And I love that he's really a lot more mature now, is that you really see how he really is embracing his father figure, his father role with Mayday Parker. And just seeing her get loose at times and just joining all these adventures. Kind of wonder what a responsible parent that is, bringing his daughter on these dangerous adventures, but I digress. It was still really cool to see him being that father figure, and then even to Miles still, and eventually the Spider Society says that Miles' father has to die. Peter B. Parker still guide and mentor Miles even more, still taking on that mentor role seriously. And just again, another great character in this movie. But the real heart of the film is Miles and his relationship with his family. I got a lot of Spider-Man 2 vibes in the beginning of the film. Spider-Man 2, he's trying to balance his life between his personal life and his spider life. You know, trying to be a friend to MJ, his job, and Spider-Man. Unlike Spider-Man 2, in Across the SpiderVerse, it's his family and school and Spider-Man. And you really see how Miles can't do it all. He's late to his college meeting with the advisor and his parents because he has to stop Spot, the villain of the movie. And I love that little scene where, his grades are good and he's getting a B in Spanish, and his mom, being Puerto Rican, is like, what? I just didn't know. I love that little comedy in the movie, but you really love the tension between Miles and his parents, because Miles hasn't told his parents that he's Spider-Man. They think he's just being late and irresponsible to be late and irresponsible. They don't know that he's essentially using his "with great power comes great responsibility." But despite that, Miles really shows that he has improved as Spider-Man. He's more confident in using his powers, and Spider-Man has a good relationship with his father, the cop. That kind of Batman Commissioner Gordon type of relationship you see in this movie. He gets into a fight with his parents and he gets grounded, and you feel bad because you know what's going on, but his parents don't. And then it really kind of adds to the dynamic of, eventually in the third act, when the Spider Society tells Miles, hey, your father has to die because that's a canon event. Canon event being basically, this event has to happen or the whole multiverse, the reality goes kaput, or something like that. It's not good for the multiverse if a canon event doesn't happen. And you can tell Miles is even more upset because it's his father, and they didn't exactly part on the best of terms. I mean, he didn't exactly end it with, I hate you, but still not the best of terms that they ended off in. But Miles' mom was another real standout in this movie, just really helping encourage her son to grow, learning that it's time to let go. She doesn't like another girl taking her son away from him, but she realizes that her son's a man now and he has to grow up. I also really loved seeing Spot travel through the different universes in the multiverse and running into none other than Mrs. Chen from the Venom movies in live action, seeing that animation live action crossover, and seeing Mrs. Chen completely unfazed by this cartoon character appearing in front of her, because we all know she's seen some other strange shit. So just another really funny scene, but also just a cool way to show the multiverse opening. I love the little Easter eggs. You got the Lego Spider-Man, you got the Spider-Man from the Spectacular Spider-Man series, which, I'll be honest, I did not watch. So the only one Spider-Man cartoon I really watched was that animated series from the 90s. So if I do get anything wrong with some of these cameos, sorry. You can correct me in the comment section. I won't be offended. But even not having seen all that stuff, I could really appreciate it. And then you see Donald Glover playing the Prowler in live action. So again, another live action crossover. And then they reference Doctor Strange from the MCU with those multiverse events. You see flashes of Tobey Maguire's Uncle Ben and Andrew Garfield's and Uncle Ben, just showing that all these universes are in fact connected. But it was really cool seeing that chase scene, which apparently I guess it took 4 years to animate, which, damn, but it was so... But Miles, again, really used his powers a lot more to... his creativity to get away from all the different Spider-Men that were chasing him, because they're trying to hold him because his father needs to die. But of course, Miles doesn't want to let his father die. It was just really cool, like getting through all that, and just there was that scene of Spider-Man, stop Spider-Man, and they're all pointing to each other. It's so cool to see that. But the leader of the Spider Society, the people who are out to capture him, or capture Miles, Miguel, kind of a dick. You see why? Because he disrupted a canon event, and he's trying to essentially get other people to learn from his mistakes. But he was so harsh on Miles. Miles himself was kind of in a, I forgot the term they used, broke a canon event, because he was never supposed to be Spider-Man, because the spider from the alternate Earth bit him. Therefore, there was no Spider-Man of that other universe. But it's not Miles' fault. I mean, the spider bit him. He was just doing stuff, minding his own business. Don't have to be a dick, Miguel. In the end, Spider-Man Miles gets into that thingy that inspects your DNA and sends you back to your home universe. But it was such a cool twist, because you think that, oh, I'm back in my own universe. It was based off the spider DNA, not the human DNA. And the spider that bit Miles was from an alternate universe. So he ends up in that other universe without a Spider-Man, where he does get captured by Uncle Aaron and the Miles of that universe. But overall, I really did like the film. It was a really good film. I mean, there was some stuff that was kind of an issue for me. You wonder, the Spider Society protects the multiverse. Where were they in Into the SpiderVerse? That's just a general problem with superhero movies. But another thing, and again, this is kind of a general issue I kind of have with DC and Marvel, with both of them having one multiverse. With that, it feels like all the Uncle Bens have to die. It feels like Batman's parents have to die. That it's a predestined thing to happen. I'm not a huge fan of that personally. It just feels like it takes away the free will a little bit, in my opinion. But as long as they don't focus on that, making it a plot point too much, I can kind of get over that. And Spot, forgettable villain, honestly. He wasn't really the main heart of the movie. I feel like he was just more of a plot device to get the main plot going. But we'll see, because it ends. Miles is captured, and Gwen Stacy, being her own badass female character, is going to rescue Miles, gets the Spider People together of this movie and the Spider People together from the last movie to rescue Miles, and it ends off on this big cliffhanger. Which I guess it's coming out March of 2024. But overall, it's a really great movie, and I'm really excited for Beyond the Spider-Verse. So overall, I would give this film a 9.3467 out of 10. There's so many great possibilities for the future. One thing I kind of hope they don't do, but I'm hearing they might, is I hope they don't live action some of these animated characters. I mean, look, I know Star Wars has done it, where they're turning some of their animated stuff into live action, but it's different because it's one universe. So the animation is just kind of how we view it in Star Wars. But with this Spider-Verse crossover, because they're mixing the live action and the animation, the way I look at it is that's actually, if we were in this movie, we would see them as animation. So it's kind of weird for them to try to turn that into live action. So we'll see what happens with that. But there's so many great possibilities going forward. So what do you think? Are you excited? Did you like Into the Spider-Verse? Or Across the Spider-Verse? Comment in the comment section. Let me know. And does this hype you up for the Flash movie? Or are you worried that it won't be as good? Me personally, I'm just excited for the genre. You can love both DC and Marvel. And after seeing this movie, I'm even more hyped for the Flash movie. So if you like this video, please like, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you never miss another episode. And lastly, have a bat-tastic day.